Welcome to the channel. This video is part of our mission to help you grow, think, and live better. Imagine being able to connect effortlessly with anyone you meet, inspire trust and respect, and build relationships that unlock endless opportunities. Sounds like a superpower, right? Well, here's the good news. It's not magic. It's a skill. And today we're diving into one of the most influential books on mastering this skill, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. First published in 1936, How to Win Friends and Influence People is a timeless classic. Why? Because no matter how much the world changes, the art of dealing with people remains the cornerstone of success. Think about it. Whether you're leading a team, negotiating a deal, or simply trying to deepen your friendships, your ability to understand and connect with people determines the outcome. This book has been a game changer for millions, from CEOs to introverts looking to break out of their shells. And while some of Carnegie's examples may feel dated, the principles he lays out are just as relevant today. So let's get into it, and we'll spice it up with modern examples to make it stick. Carnegie's first lesson is simple but profound. People are naturally more interested in themselves than in you. If you want to win friends and influence people, you need to shift your focus from "what do I want" to "what do they want?" Here's an example. Let's say you're at a networking event and you meet someone who runs a small business. Instead of diving into your pitch, ask them about their work. Show genuine curiosity. A question as simple as, "What inspired you to start your business?" can light up their face. Why? Because you're giving them a chance to talk about their favorite subject, themselves. Carnegie explains that this principle works because people crave acknowledgement and validation. By showing interest, you're fulfilling that need. It's like planting seeds of goodwill. They'll remember how you made them feel long after the conversation ends. The key takeaway? Listen more than you talk. Resist the urge to dominate the conversation. People will walk away feeling good, and they'll associate that good feeling with you. Listening is one of the simplest yet most effective ways to build rapport. Next up, Carnegie highlights two underrated but powerful tools: your smile and remembering someone's name. Think about the last time someone greeted you with a warm smile. It instantly puts you at ease. Smiling isn't just polite, it's contagious. It signals openness, approachability, and warmth. Carnegie emphasizes that a genuine smile is one of the quickest ways to win someone over. If you're wondering how to make your smile genuine, try this. Think about something or someone that makes you happy just before interacting with others. A forced smile is obvious, but a heartfelt one shines through and sets a positive tone. Now let's talk about names. Carnegie writes, "A person's name is to that person the sweetest sound in any language." Why? Because names are deeply personal. When you remember and use someone's name, you're saying, "I see you. You matter." Here's a practical example. Imagine you're at a coffee shop and the barista's name tag reads Amy. When she hands you your drink, say, "Thanks, Amy." It's a simple gesture, but it can make someone's day. If you struggle to remember names, Carnegie suggests this trick. Repeat the name several times during the conversation. Like, "Nice to meet you, Amy." "So, Amy, what brought you to this event?" Repetition reinforces the name in your memory and shows that you're paying attention. Here's where things get a little counterintuitive. Carnegie advises us to avoid arguments and criticism at all costs. Why? Because even if you win the argument, you're likely to lose the person. People are emotionally attached to their opinions, and attacking those opinions often feels like a personal attack. Let's bring this to life with a story. Imagine you're in a meeting and a colleague presents an idea you think is flawed. Instead of saying, "That'll never work," try something like, "That's an interesting perspective. Can you walk me through how you see it playing out?" This approach keeps the conversation open and collaborative rather than combative. The same goes for criticism. If you need to address someone's mistake, frame it in a way that preserves their dignity. For example, instead of saying, "You messed this up," try, "I noticed this didn't go as planned. Let's figure out how we can improve it together." This subtle shift in language fosters cooperation instead of resentment. Carnegie's underlying message here is empathy. Put yourself in the other person's shoes and think about how your words might impact them. The goal is to guide and influence without damaging the relationship. One of the most impactful principles in the book is the power of sincere appreciation. Notice the word sincere here. Flattery comes off as fake, but genuine appreciation can transform relationships. For instance, think about a time when someone genuinely complimented your work. It probably boosted your confidence and motivated you to do even better. You can create this effect for others by recognizing their contributions, no matter how small. For example, instead of a generic "good job," try "I really admire the effort you put into that presentation. The way you organized the data made it so much easier to understand." Being specific shows that you paid attention, making the compliment more meaningful. Carnegie also warns against overdoing it. Too much praise can feel insincere or manipulative. The key is to be genuine and balanced. Compliment when it's truly deserved, and people will respect you for it. Carnegie argues that one of the deepest human desires is to feel important, and you can fulfill this desire for others by treating them with respect and valuing their opinions. Here's an everyday example. Suppose you're at a restaurant and the server recommends a dish. Instead of brushing it off, say, "That sounds great. What do you like most about it?" This small act of acknowledging their input can brighten their day. And more significant situations involve people in decision-making. If you're leading a team, ask for their ideas. Even if you have the final say, people appreciate being heard and included. Making people feel important doesn't require grand gestures. Often, it's the small, thoughtful acts that leave the biggest impression. Carnegie offers a brilliant strategy for persuasion. Start by finding common ground. People are far more open to your ideas when they feel aligned with you. For example, imagine you're trying to convince a friend to join you on a weekend hike. Instead of saying, "You should come hiking," try this. "You love being outdoors, right? This hike has some of the best views I've ever seen. I think you'd really enjoy it." By linking your suggestion to their interests, you're framing it as something that benefits them. Another tip: admit when you're wrong. It might feel counterproductive, but owning up to mistakes builds trust and credibility. For example, saying, "You're right, I didn't think about that," shows humility and makes people more likely to listen to your perspective. Carnegie also emphasizes the power of gentle persuasion. Instead of telling someone they're wrong, ask questions that lead them to reconsider their position. For example, "Have you considered how this approach might impact the timeline?" This method invites collaboration rather than resistance. Throughout the book, Carnegie emphasizes the importance of storytelling. Facts and figures are forgettable, but stories stick. Imagine you're pitching an idea to a client. Instead of diving into stats, share a quick story about how your solution helped another client overcome a similar challenge. For instance, "Last year, we worked with a company that struggled with X. After implementing our solution, they saw Y results in just 3 months." Stories create an emotional connection, making your message more memorable and persuasive. They're also a powerful way to illustrate abstract concepts in a relatable way. If there's one overarching lesson from how to win friends and influence people, it's this: be genuine. Carnegie's principles aren't about manipulation. They're about building real, meaningful connections. People can sense authenticity, and it's the foundation of trust and influence. As you apply these principles, remember that small changes can lead to big results. Smile a little more, listen a little better, and appreciate the people around you. Over time, these habits will transform not just your relationships, but also your entire outlook on life. Thank you for watching. We provide complete and concise summaries of impactful books to save you time and help you effectively grasp their key insights.